Bonjour Potterhead friend, it's Piotr and welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while since the last time I posted a video, but I'm glad to be here with you today to share this new video. I have 8 DIY for your Christmas tree or your home decoration if you're not celebrating Christmas. By the way, this is my natural hair, so bye bye Tina Goldstein vibes and hello Bellatrix Lestrange. I do love the Hogwarts portraits in the movies, so for the first DIY let me show you my mini Hogwarts portrait ornaments. I found those antique looking frames in the Yakuyan shop. It's a dollar store in Japan. I print 3 small portraits of some witch and wizard, Albus Dumbledore, Newt Scamander and the Fat Lady. I also cut 3 pieces of cardboard for the back of my prints. When your prints and cardboards are cut, stick them together with some glue. I'm using my super glue and apply a small amount around the inner edges of my frame. Then I carefully put my print on cardboard inside. At this point, you can leave it like this, but if you want to use them after Christmas as keychain, I highly recommend you to protect the print. I decided to cover everything with hard resin, but if you don't have resin, you can use a small piece of clear plastic and cover your print with it. I cure the resin with my mini UV LED lamp. For this step, I recommend you to follow the instruction of your own resin. The final result is a little too glossy, but I still love it. By the way, be careful with the printed side of your image, especially when you apply your stick glue. As you can see, I left some fingerprints on the Newt Scamander portraits. I also decided to paint the back of my ornament with some brown acrylic paint. And to finish the first DIY, you just need to put a hook and a small piece of thread to complete the ornament. Next DIY, let's make some potion. I did something similar with the same technique in my previous Christmas video, but this time I had a new ideas and I created special potion labels for the occasion. Because it's for Christmas, I create those labels based on winter. By the way, those patterns are available in the description below. Feel free to use them and don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you do. When all my patterns are cut, I'm gonna apply some Mod Podge on the recto and verso of my label. And then apply them on the mini bottles. I apply a second coat of Mod Podge on it. Try to stay close to the corner of the pattern. If you apply Mod Podge on the glass surface, don't worry and just remove the excess with a paper tissue when the glue is still wet. The Mod Podge will turn clear after a few hours. Here, the result when everything is dry. Time to fill the bottles. For the Yeti fur bottles, I just cut some white fur from one of my previous projects and filled the bottles. For the next bottles, the magical cedar in chunk oil, I'm going to use fake branches and fill everything with an oil. For the eternal snow bottles, it was a little difficult to find accurate alternative. I think coconut shredded could look better than the stuffing material I use. If you have other ideas of good looking fake snow, please leave me a comment. For the spice Christmas potions, I put a small piece of cinnamon stick in my bottles and fill everything with some colored water. I also use colored water for the witch brew potions and the Wendigo blood bottles. I'm sealing the bottle with some super glue to prevent accidents in the Christmas tree. Then I put a hook and a thread to turn my bottles in ornaments. Next DIY, probably my favorite, some love potion ornaments. When I saw those heart ornaments in my local store, I immediately pictured in my mind the love potion prop from the movie. So I decided to turn those little hearts ornaments in love potion bottles. For this DIY, I took inspiration from this love potion bottle from Noble Collection. So first, I'm using pink thread to make my own pink tassels. I'm going to add some straws to create the shape of the heart to imitate the love potion design. You can add some black dots with a marker on your ornament to be sure to position the straws correctly. For the letters, I'm using an alphabet silicone mold I already have in my stuff, and I'm mixing some gold acrylic with my hard resin. I pour the mixture in my mold and cure everything. For the small bottles, I'm only using LNP, and for the bigger ones, the full words. If you don't have alphabet mold and resin, you can use a golden marker instead and directly write on your bottles. Then I'm using my glue to stick my letters to my ornaments. I thought the gold effect wasn't strong enough, so I decided to use my golden marker on my letters and also my straws. Almost done, just need to attach the tassel to the bottle. And voila, for the love potion ornament! For this one, I bought some bottle caps. I'm not drinking, so I didn't have those kind of caps home, but if you can recycle some beer caps, it will be better than buy some as I did. Anyways, I apply a few layers of golden spray on them to cover their current designs. Then, with the same method than my love potion ornaments, I'm using a smaller alphabet silicone mold to make with the letters Butterbeer. Like I said before, you can skip this process and just directly write Butterbeer on your bottle caps. When my letters are cured, I'm taking them away from the mold and do the same process few times to have all the letters necessary. I apply a first coat of resin on my caps. Because the resin is still wet, I can easily move and place my letters. When I am happy with the position of my letters, I cure the first coat. Then, I apply a second coat of resin to cover my letters and smooth its surface. You can use a flame or a fire-making spell incendio to remove the bubble from the surface of your resin, but be extremely careful. Like the previous DIYs, add a hook and a thread. For my next DIY, I'm still gonna use hard resin to make some mini Philosopher stones inspired by the one of Harry Potter movie. I'm mixing my resin with some red resin color, then I pour my mixture in the mold. I cure my resin a few minutes. The mold and resin may be hot, so be careful and let it cool down a few minutes. Then remove your hard resin from its mold. With my golden acrylic paint and a sponge, I'm going to give more dimension and details to my stones. Then I'm making a small hole and add a hook to turn my stone in an ornament. Next DIY, no more resin, I promise. For this DIY, all you're gonna need is a simple print, also available in the description below. It's based on the Dumbledore's army list from the movie, The Prisoner of Azkaban. Instead of Dumbledore's army, I wrote Santa Claus list. I used this image from the movie as reference. To give more dimensions to my prints, I carefully burn the edges with a candle. As always, be careful during this process. In the image I use, the name of Seamus is not complete, so I decide to add a small feather to give the illusion of Santa Claus writing the list. The next DIY is also a print I made. I love the Daily Prophet from Mina Lima and I thought it could be a nice addition to my Christmas tree. But I didn't want to put a depressing edition of the newspaper about Voldemort, for example, so I did my own edition, a Christmas edition of the Daily Prophet. So I cut my patterns and fold them. I forgot to record this part, but I stick the middle part of my print to give more dimension to my newspapers. Then I made a small hole in the paper to put a hook and to make an ornament. Last DIY is the most easy one, but a classic I think. If you have golden balls for your Christmas tree, then you can turn them in a simple golden snitch. I mark 2 small dots with my marker and use a pointing tool to make 2 holes. Then I put some glue and stick my feather in them to make the wings of my golden snitch. And voila! I hope you enjoyed this video and you may be gonna use some of these DIYs in your Christmas tree. Please tell me which DIY you love the most. I'm working on a new video, so feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram, Piotr Moore. Have a lovely holidays, friends!